Okay, we're working in Chapter 8, starting on page 370. We're going to complete Assessment 2 together. There are a few steps that we skip, and then we're going to skip around in Assessment 3 using the same file from Assessment 2. So I'm really not following the steps very well at all in that third assessment. So the first thing we need to do is open the presentation in our OneDrive files for this class, our data files. It's PowerPoint Chapter 8. This is the last thing we do in PowerPoint before the career PowerPoint, and then that's over. There won't be a test. That career PowerPoint is the assessment. It's worth 100 points. That's a lot of points for this class. So please take your time on it and make sure you're looking at the requirements. That's huge. And the rubric on the back. Okay, everyone is in OneDrive, PowerPoint Chapter 8. Open the file, CommPres, Communications Presentation is what this stands for, and open it. Open it in PowerPoint. Yes. COMM, Pres. Chapter 8. There are other files we're going to work with in this assessment. So one of them we're going to open and the other one we're going to download. And I'll explain why we're doing them differently whenever we get to that point. So go back to OneDrive. And I want you to open the Word document, Verbal Skills. It's the very bottom. And OneDrive drives me crazy because I can't just scroll down there without it jumping back up. Does that happen to anyone else? Verbal Skills. And go ahead and open it in Word. You don't have to save it with a different file name, just open it. And choose Enable Editing once you do get it open. Yes? Okay. Is it with the login or the actual opening? So it won't. It just freezes on that. Oh. Okay, and that's click OK. And close PowerPoint. Okay, then and try again. It's an issue with SharePoint, which is an issue with the internet. And the spelling. Okay, click OK. Yeah. That's what it's going to do. Is anyone else having a problem opening those? Hopefully it works this time. Val, have you gotten one open? Is it working? Okay, and we're going to download a file. It's an Excel file, so let's go back to OneDrive. And it's an Excel file called NVQs. So deselect verbal skills, put a check mark beside NVQs, has the Excel icon, and click download. And we want it to save in the download folder, so if you're in Explorer, just click save. Chrome does it automatically. Still not? Okay, we'll try to do what? Okay. And we're going to go back to Chrome. And click download. We are page 370. I've kind of combined some steps, and so if you're working out of the book, stop at step 6. So we have to do things a little differently than the textbook. Okay, now I want you to go back to PowerPoint, and I want you to save as. And the file name is P-C8 for chapter 8-A2-COMMPRES. So P-C8-A2-COMMPRES. Okay, I'm not going to save mine because I already have it saved. All right, today we're going to embed a Word file. We're actually going to embed a chart or a table in that Word file, and then we're going to link a chart from Excel to PowerPoint so you can see the difference between embedding an object and linking a file. Okay, I want you to click on slide 6. Actually, it should be slide 5. Click on slide 5. Yes. Up Oh, it's not letting you save. All right, so it gave you the little yellow bar across the top. Just hang on to that, then occasionally click save right there to see if it'll try to do it. That's what Amy and Val were having troubles with. It wasn't wanting to open because it said there's a problem with SharePoint.
No,
So
necessary permissions. No.
did you try to upload right into the file where I had it saved, or did you put it in your file? Okay, on slide 5, we're going to copy from the Word document. So down in your taskbar, I want you to click on Word, the Word document you have open, and it's the verbal communication skills. We're going to select this table. We're going to select the entire table. So in the upper left-hand corner of the table, you have the crosshairs. If you click that, it will select the entire table. Now right-click on it and copy it. We're going to paste it as an object in PowerPoint. We're going to embed it. The directions said to embed it, and I know that means to paste it as an object. The reason why we can't just paste is because it's going to change the way it looks. It's going to change a lot of information, the design on it and everything. So we're going to, in this example, we're going to click on the Home tab. We're going to click the drop-down arrow under Paste and go down to Paste Special. We're going to choose Paste. It's already selected. And we're in the As box, we're going to choose Microsoft Word Document Object. It is pasting it, but it pastes it as an object, so it's basically a graphic. We can't edit it in PowerPoint. So click OK. If you just clicked paste, it won't work. It will paste it. Let me show you. You leave yours in there the way it looks. Let me show you how it looks if I just paste it normally. Do you see the difference between what I have and what you have? However, I could have right-clicked and chose the second object, which is to keep the source formatting, and it looks almost the same. Or I could also choose Embed. When I embed it, it means I can no longer edit the file or what I just pasted. If I just paste it, I can come in here and edit some of this text. So that's the difference between a regular copy and paste and a copy and embed. Okay, so this is what you have. We're going to resize it. So grab one of the corner handles and just resize it. I don't think it matters on this file, but we just want it to be larger just to see that you can do that. It's almost like a graphic at this point. See, we get drawing tools, format toolbar up here. So it's recognizing this as an object, not as an actual table. Okay, now we're going to open that NVQ's Excel file. We downloaded it. We need to open the one we downloaded. So you're going to open the folder. This is called your File Explorer. Down in your taskbar, click on the folder and go to your Downloads folder. Navigate to your Downloads folder, and you probably only have NVQs saved in there. I have all of the things we've done in this class saved in here. So open NVQs. Stands for nonverbal. Now the reason we had to download this instead of just opening it like we did in Word is that we're going to make changes to it and save it. And I didn't want you to have to open it in Excel, save it back on OneDrive. We're just downloading it and saving it right here where it sits in the Downloads folder. We're going to copy this chart. So you need to click in the white chart area. Don't click right on the pie chart. Click in the white area somewhere and copy. Control-C works. Home, copy. Right-click, copy. However you copy. Go back to PowerPoint. Slide 6. We're going to right click, but I don't want you to just choose paste because we need to paste this as a link. And we have 5 different options for pasting. The third option is the one we're going to pick. It says use destination theme and link the data. The destination is PowerPoint. The data is from Excel. So choose that option, the third option when we right clicked and went to our paste options. Our white box around the chart is actually white. So, and right now it's covering up that red bar. We need to move it and we can resize it. The book says to make it a little larger. Now you have to be careful. Notice my white box here is covering up the logo. You also want to make sure it doesn't cover up this yellow line. I'm just going to move mine out of the way. Now, hopefully, did that work for you, Brendan, when you saved that time?
No.
You still have the little yellow bar? Does anyone else have the little yellow bar that's not letting you save on OneDrive? Try to do it again. Hopefully it'll work. I want you to just go ahead and save. Click your save button up here on the quick task toolbar. Don't close it, just save it. Go back to Excel. We're going to make some changes in this Excel file, and we're going to have them appear in PowerPoint. That's the power of linking a document. So in Excel, we're going to change this eye contact from 35% to 38%. So in cell B2, you just click and type 38. Smiling becomes 22. By the way, if we change one, we have to change another one because we know if we're doing a pie chart, it has to equal 100%. I mean, there's only 100% of a pie. Eye contact becomes 38% and smiling becomes 22%. So B2, type 38, click in cell B2, type 38. Click in cell B3, type 22. It's already formatted as a percentage, so you don't have to type the percent. Notice it changed it in your chart. We know that. We've worked in Excel. Click the Save button in Excel. You're saving this Excel file. And close it. The book actually tells us to close PowerPoint also, but we're not going to. If you closed PowerPoint and reopened it, it would ask you, do you want to update all of the links in your file? And you would say yes. But because we don't want to close ours, we're just going to update it. So I closed Excel. I'm back in PowerPoint. My chart still says 35% for eye contact. Okay, I need to click in my chart area, and my chart tools tab appears, or my design and format tabs. Click the design tab and choose refresh data. It's right here. There's no shortcut key for that. And when you do that, it might take a little bit. My morning class, I had 2 or 3 computers that took about 2 minutes for it to update. It shouldn't, but it does. Mine updated. My eye contact is now 38% and smiling is 22%. Did that work? Let me know if it didn't and I'll come around. If you didn't choose link data, it won't work. And sometimes it just takes a little longer. If you did choose link to refresh this data, because I don't know why, maybe because there are so many people on the server right now. Did it work? Okay, we are actually on step 12 on page 370, where we're going to add some comments. So on slide 2, I want you to click on slide 2 and make it active. And we are going to add a comment after this second bulleted item. Define sequence of information. So I want you to click right at the end of that line. Click on the Review tab up on the ribbon. I like to have the comment taskbar show up on the right-hand side. You don't have to. I like it, so I'm going to click Show Comments. So this taskbar shows up over here. And click the new button. In the comments task pane, choose new. You could just choose new comment right here. I like to work in the task pane. So click new. The comment you are typing is ask Lauren to provide a specific communication example. Ask Lauren to provide a specific communication example. I wish I could make that bigger, but I can't. Ask Lauren to provide a specific communication example. So whoever prepared this PowerPoint has gone through it and they're trying to make it better. So they're giving themselves suggestions or comments to make sure they do these things, and they add them to this PowerPoint at a later date to make this the best presentation they can possibly give. When I was in college, which was a while back, believe it or not, computers existed. I had a lot of instructors who graded my papers and only put comments on the computer. So I would have to go view those comments. Do you have any teachers that still do that? Grade with comments? No? Okay. I didn't know if that was still a thing to do. It has been a while. So let's add a comment on slide 4. After the very last bulleted item, so click after the last bulleted item, new comment. We're not going to do the third one, by the way. We're only adding these 2 comments. Insert a link here to the writing presentation prepared by Sylvia. Insert a link here to the writing presentation presented by or prepared by Sylvia. Okay, I'm going to skip steps 14, 15, 16, and 17, but I am going to show you step 17. We're not going to do step 17 because if we did, then it would remove the comments that we just added. But I just want you to know that if you do use the document inspector, how that works. So just watch me up here. I'm going to click the File tab, and I'm on Info. In this middle area, it says Inspect Presentation. And it says, before publishing this file, be aware that it contains comments, document properties, embedded documents, content that people with disabilities are unable to read. So I'm going to click on the drop-down arrow, check for issues, choose Inspect Document. I'm not going to save because I'm still working in your file, and if I save it, it'll save over. And I'm just going to inspect all of these things. So I'm going to click Inspect, and it tells me I have some comments. I have some personal information. I also have some embedded documents. If I wanted to, I could click Remove All. So if we were to complete step 17, this is what we would do. We would click this, but I don't want you to. So I don't want those comments removed. You just typed them, and I want to be able to look at them when I grade it. So I just want you to know that this is here. If you were working for a professional firm, you would want to do this. All right, I'm going to click Close. The next step says to run the accessibility checker, and when we do that, I don't necessarily want you to do it, but when we do that, it will check, and it will tell us what errors we have. And it tells us we need some alternate text on a chart, which we are going to add. Okay, close your comments taskbar. Make slide 6 your active slide. We are going to add some alt text, some alternate text to this chart. I want you to click on the chart tools, Format tab, this is one way to get to this. There is another. If you right click, it'll walk you through it. But Chart Tools Format, there is the size gallery over here on the far right. If you click the More button or Expand button, it will open up this task area on the right-hand side. Now I have too much of my chart selected. I only want the chart area on the outside, so I need to click in this chart area so that my actual pie chart is deselected. Your taskbar on the right-hand side should look like mine at this point. It should be Format Chart Area, Chart Options Selected. I'm going to click the Size and Properties button, which my mouse is sitting on right now. And you'll see it says Alt Text. From here, we can add our title and our description, and that is in step 18. The title is Top 5 Nonverbal Cues. The description, we're simply telling all the percentages starting with eye contact. So eye contact, I can spell, comma, 38%, semicolon, smiling, comma, go through each one of those. I'm on page 370, step 18. I'm typing in the description just this right here. I wasn't even looking at my book. Eye contact, comma, 38%. I'm typing it over here in the description for alternate text. So eye contact, comma, 38%, semicolon. The next one is smiling, comma, 22%, semicolon. Posture, comma, 15%. And that came from my chart. All of these. All 5 of those. Alt text is used for people who have disabilities. Maybe they need the program to speak to them. If there's alt text, it can speak this information. It can't speak it from a chart. So that would be the purpose in adding this. I think of alt text when I go to a web page and it takes a while for a picture to load. It should have text there telling me the name of the file or what the picture represents before the picture loads. Otherwise, I get bored and I go to another web page. This is the same concept of the alt text. Okay, now I want you to save this file again, and we're going to use it on page 371. And we're only completing 1, 2, 3 of the steps on page 371. Oftentimes, we need to save our presentations in a different format. Maybe one reason might be because we have a newer version of PowerPoint. It's not the newest, it's just a newer version. Maybe the computer you're working on doesn't have this new version, so we would need to save it in the format it can read. That's the first step, which we're not going to complete. We are going to complete step number 3, though, and we're going to save one of our slides, and I actually have changed it, if you could see the chicken scratches on my page. We're not going to save the entire presentation as a JPEG file. We're going to just save one slide. So click on slide 3. We are going to save this slide as a JPEG file. JPEG is a picture file. It's a compressed picture file. It's web quality. It's a very common format. JPG or JPEG is a JPEG. Click the File tab and go down to Export. Here are very common ways we can export files. We're going to actually do this one later, the PDF. You could create a video. You could also package your presentation for a CD. This could actually be for a flash drive. I don't want you to select it, but I want you to be aware of it, because if you create a presentation that has sound, let's say, for example, your career PowerPoint, you have sound in it, and you were to come up here and present it, your sound would probably not play unless you had saved that sound file to either your flash drive or OneDrive in the same place your career PowerPoint is saved. So if you work for a company and your job is to give presentations or even create them, you will need to know how to package that presentation for a CD. Now, it doesn't need to be on a CD. It can be on a flash drive. It can be uploaded to OneDrive. What it does is pulls all the files together that you've used and it puts it in one place. And it's very, very, very important that you understand that, because it would be embarrassing for you to create a presentation and you have a picture or a chart in Excel that you've linked and you forgot to include the Excel file and your chart doesn't show up because it's not included on your flash drive. Okay, so click Change File Type, because we're going to save this as a JPEG. From here we have all these different options. We're going to choose this one, the JPEG File Interchange Format. We do need to save it. As soon as it decides to come up, click that, click Save As. You're going to just add JPG to the end of your file. Help if I could spell. So you have P-C8-A2-compress already. All you're going to do is add JPG to the end of that file name. Click Save. You're saving to OneDrive. Should already be there if your PowerPoint is saved to OneDrive. You should still be able to save it there now. Into the folder you created for this class. Your OneDrive's not coming up at all. Click the Word documents. These are your files. Okay, but they're not, that's mine. Okay, close this next. Okay, what file save as? And click this OneDrive. And then browse. Okay. Okay, now save. It doesn't mean it's not working, it just means. Okay, so now go back to File and Export. Well, hang on, go back and do on slide 3. Change font type to JPEG. So I can just, should be there, just add JPG to the end. Okay, you get this message. It asks, do you want to save all slides or just this one slide? We want to save just this one slide, and it's the one we have selected. So choose just this one. And it saved it. It actually saved this as an image. Okay, so now click on your Word icon in the taskbar. We already have one Word document open. We're going to open a new blank document. So File, New, Blank Document. We're going to change the font to Century Gothic. If you just click in the font and start to type Century. Okay, usually it will actually fill that in. I had to type the whole thing. 24 points, you can click your drop down arrow, obviously, but usually it's faster to do it the other way. Century Gothic, 24-point, center. Now it's going to seem really odd that our title is Nature's Way because we're using a communications presentation. Nature's Way, press enter. We're going to insert that image that we just saved. However, you can't just insert from your OneDrive. I can because I have the OneDrive app, but you can't. So we actually have to go and download that image from OneDrive, the one you just saved of this file. So you're going to go to your browser. It's not in this Chapter 8 folder because it's in your files. Right now you're in Shared with Me. You're in My Files. You have to go to your files, find the folder for this class, put a check mark beside, let me get to it, hang on. It's this P-C8-A2 Compres JPG. You saved it. It's not my file, it's your file. That was the biggest problem this morning. And just click download, so it's in your downloads folder. Okay, you just saved that image onto your OneDrive. Okay, you're still in My Files. You need to go to your files. So close this. And here are the files. And here in this folder. And now it should be right in here. You just save that image file with the JPG at the end. It was in PowerPoint. You're on side 3, initial file export. Go to file. Export. Change file type. JPEG. Okay, now like this, yeah. It just needs to be refreshed. It should be there. And it shows up with a different icon. That's how I know. There it is. Okay, so just put a check mark this second. Okay, did everyone get that downloaded? If we weren't working in OneDrive, we wouldn't have to do that. Yes. Oh, you were on a different slide. We used slide 3. That's it. Yeah. So you can move that. Yeah, slide 3 is the next. So there's a JPEG file that's great. Choose the yes. And just this one. Okay, so now in Word, and I see a lot of you have this done, that's great. It's just inserting a picture. So in Word, we're going to insert a picture because we just saved this slide as a picture. You have to navigate to your downloads folder and find it. Should be, you should only have one thing in there that shows up. I have the OneDrive app, which I like using OneDrive. I save all of my files on it. And I just want to show you that I can actually navigate, because I have that app, I can navigate directly to my OneDrive, and here are all of my OneDrive files. All of them. So I can navigate easily through here, but you have to download that OneDrive app. So if you use OneDrive a lot on your own personal computer, I recommend that app because it saves a step. Okay, now we're going to save this Word document. If you're looking in your textbook, it's on page 371, step 5F. It has nothing to do with a communications presentation. It's actually P-C8-A3-herbs. I'll pull it up here. P-C8-A3-herbs. If we would have used the right file, it was about home remedies. Yep. The H is silent, so it's herbs. Now, if you know someone, then their name is Herb with an H. Yeah, do you ever call him Herb? Oh, I have a friend named Herb too, and we call him Herb. Okay, I'm not going to save mine because I already have it saved. Okay, once you have that saved, let's close out of Word. Both Word documents you can close. The very last thing in PowerPoint that we're going to do today is save this file as a PDF. Now, if you're using Chrome on your OneDrive, I'm just going to warn you now that it's going to force you to log in to your OneDrive again when we do this. So just be aware of that. Okay, we're in OneDrive, or we're in PowerPoint. Goodness. I want you to go to File, Export. We're going to choose this Create PDF. And that's the one we're on by default. So now we need to click this button over here, Create PDF again. And we're just going to, it should be in the correct folder. It should be. And as soon as you click the Publish button, it's going to take you to, it won't do it for me, so I'm just telling you now, it's going to take you to your internet browser. It will be Explorer by default. So if you've been using Chrome, it's going to force you to log into OneDrive again. And then it will view, you'll be able to view those documents in a PDF. I'll do it here. You're not changing the file name or anything. You're just clicking Publish. Mine doesn't force me to log in again. It just opens it in my browser as a PDF document. PDF stands for Portable Document Format. So I can take it anywhere, whether somebody has PowerPoint or not on their computer, we could view this presentation. Did it do what I said it would do? Is it forcing you to log back in? Yeah. By default, it's using Internet Explorer as the default browser for Adobe Reader. I often save my documents as PDFs because if I'm sharing them with someone, then they can't edit them. If I share this in PowerPoint, they could edit it in PowerPoint. But if I share it as an Adobe document, most people do not have the software to edit this in Adobe. I send resumes, cover letters, I save all of them as PDFs before I send them to a potential employer, like via online. Then also they can't see if there's any red squiggly lines or blue squiggly lines or green squiggly lines. It looks like a very professional document. So I always save it as a PDF before I send it to them. Okay, is anyone having problems getting logged on? Okay. There is no homework for Chapter 8. Wednesday, you'll come into class and you'll do a class evaluation. It's very important for you to be in here. I think it's either a class evaluation or teacher evaluation or both. So you'll be evaluating me and also the class. It's a perfect day because I'm not going to be here. You can talk about me behind my back. It's okay. I talk about you guys behind your backs all the time. It's all good, I promise. So you do not have class on Friday. I'll be in St. Louis. So that concludes Chapter 8. Be working on your career PowerPoint. While I'm gone, you will next Monday and Wednesday work on those as well. What's your question? Okay. Hang on, I have to knock on my door. Just try. Okay, I've never seen this before. And yes, I have never seen okay. Save it on this computer and email it to me. Are you able to get on there and email it to me as an attachment because I don't. Yes.
I did, PowerPoint.
What?
Yeah. Well, on Monday, next Friday, when I'm here, we'll look at it. We'll be working on it on Monday and Tuesday, so make sure that you guys can get it on. That way I can kind of visualize what you're talking about. Okay. I'm glad you're working on it. It is a Monday.
It is.
Gosh.